Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. Today's tutorial is going to be a knitting stitch pattern tutorial. This stitch pattern is called the braid stitch, and it looks like it's cabling, but don't let looks fool you. We are actually going to be doing left-leaning stitches and right-leaning stitches. I will show you how to do those as we work through the pattern. The pattern is worked up in multiples of 10. So this is my sample, and what you see in the center of these two sides here is what we're going to be working up today. This section here, with just a little bit on the sides of it. For the sample, I cast on a total of 20 stitches, and that gave me the 10 pattern stitches in the center and 5 on each side of garter stitch, just to really accentuate this part right here. So for the tutorial, I just cast on a total of 10 stitches, and we will work through our foundation row and the following 8 repeating rows. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And now I have already cast on my 10 stitches and worked a couple rows of garter stitch. So we're going to begin on the wrong side of your work with your foundation row. Your foundation row begins with a knit 3. So knit 1, 2, and 3. Purl 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and knit the last 2 stitches. That is your foundation row, and it is the wrong side of your work. Turn your work over. We will now work on the right side. Okay. Row 1, right side of your work. We're going to purl the first 2 stitches. So purl 2. That's 1 and 2. Now we're going to knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do a right lean stitch. So we're going to go and take our right needle in front of the work, skip your first stitch, and knit the second stitch. Pull up a loop. Do not remove your stitches. Reach back to the first stitch and knit the first stitch. That is going to create a right lean to those stitches. Now we're going to finish this row 1 up with knitting the last 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to turn our work over for row 2. Row 2 is the wrong side of the work. You're going to knit the first 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Purl 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and knit the last 2. Turn your work over and we will begin row 3. We're back on the right side of our work. Row 3, you begin with purling your first 2 stitches. So purl 2, 1, and 2. Now we're going to do a left lean. So you're going to take your right needle, go in behind the work, go between your 2 stitches, pulling that top leg to the back of from your second stitch to the back of your work, yarn over and knit that stitch. Now you're going to bring your needle to the front and we're going to knit the first stitch. And that will cause those stitches to lean to the left. Now we're going to do a right lean again. So we're bringing our needle to the front, skipping the first stitch, going in as if to knit the second stitch, yarning over and knit that stitch. Without removing any stitches, you're going to go back to the first stitch and knit it. At that point, you can pull both of those stitches off. We're going to do that left lean one more time. So we're bringing our right needle behind our work, going between the first and second stitch, up to the front, grabbing that front leg and pulling it to the back of the work and knitting that stitch. Without pulling your stitches off, you're going to knit your first stitch now. And then slide those 2 stitches off. Now we're going to purl the last 2 stitches. Turn your work over, and we're back on the wrong side of our work at this point. Row 4, you're going to knit the first 2 stitches. 1 and 2. Purl the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And knit the last 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work over and we will do row 5. Row 5 is on the right side of your work. We're going to purl those first 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do a left lean. So that's where we bring our needle, right needle behind the left needle, go in between the first and second stitch, push the front leg of the second stitch to the back of your work. Now knit that stitch. Come back to the front and knit the first stitch. Now you can remove those 2 stitches off your left needle. You're going to knit the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3, and purl the last 2, 1 and 2. Turn your work over to the wrong side of your work. For row 6. Row 6 is the same as row 4. We're going to knit our first 2 stitches. 1 and 2. Purl 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Knit your last 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work over to the right side of your work, and let's do row 7. Row 7, you're going to purl your first 2 stitches. So purling 1 and 2. Now we're going to do a right lean. That's where your needle is in front. You skip your first stitch and knit the second one. Without pulling loops off, without pulling your stitches off, go back and knit the first stitch. And now you can remove both of those stitches off your left needle. Now we're going to do a left lean. So that's where our right needle goes behind the first stitch, behind our work. Come all the way through to the front. Grab that very top leg of your second stitch and pull it to the back of your work. Knit that stitch and knit the first stitch. Now you can pull those 2 stitches off your left needle. And now we're going to do one more right lean. So here we are, we're going to go in front of the work, grab that first stitch, go all the way to the back and knit it. Come back to the first stitch and knit it. Pull those 2 stitches off, and now purl 2, 1 and 2. Go ahead and turn your work over for row 8. This is the last row of your repeating rows. Row 8 is on the wrong side, and it is the same as row 2. You're going to knit your first 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Purl 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and knit the last 2 stitches. You will repeat rows 1 through 8, which will be down in the description box and time stamped. This is what you have after 1 repeat. Now on my first sample I showed you, I have worked a total of 3 repeats. So you can see how it's worked a little bit further up. Again, this sample was 20 stitch cast on, so 5 edge stitches and 10 pattern stitches. Be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.